Hi everyone. I'm just going to make sure my volume's up and makes these clicky noises right now. I don't know how to get rid of that. So I'm at 100. Okay, so hope you can hear me really well. That's just my. Okay. Hi. I've got a little bit of soundtrack off and the Rings of Power, Lord of the Rings playing. I don't want it to be picking up so high, but I like a little bit of music in the background to kind of add the atmosphere. So welcome to another card share of Wisdom Tea and Oracle Insights. And I wanted to check in with you about an offer that I've done today partially on TikTok, but I wanted to bring more of it to YouTube because I actually kind of try to compartmentalize, condense it to 3 minutes to serve some interest for TikTok. But I wanted to take this to a fuller hour time, and I might need to leave. I want the cats to go in and out, and the door's open. So for me, that's distracting. So I'm going to be right with you, and I'll just explain a little bit more if you haven't seen part of that offer on TikTok or Facebook. I don't even know if it posted because I still have like 22 days in jail for Facebook, and also for Twitter. So one moment, please hang on there. So as you can see me, I'm going to bring my cards over, and I'm going to be working from the cards that were pulled prior on this particular theme that I want to share with you. Got my books, got my numbers. Let's see. I want to kind of go into it a little bit. I might pendulum, I'm not sure, but it's interesting because I consciously didn't know some things in terms of how my crystals matched up with the card piles that I put them to. Um, and just the whole theme of what I was offering. So what came to me that I wanted to address tonight and on TikTok was, and it seems like a reoccurring theme, which I think I might have shared this on Facebook. It's sort of what was coming to me today very strongly was, again, revisiting being you in your manifestations during times of deception. And and this is for me that I'm practicing to want to keep observing, remembering, and living into more and more and more because this is these times on this planet. It is so easy, for example, to pay attention to mainstream media or what groups of people might be saying about many different subjects that they give you bits of on mainstream media or Wall Street Journal or out there in public in the workplace or family place, or perhaps you don't know too many things really and what's going on, and just stuff comes up with friends and such, and you you may not have just trying to find a way to keep this here. You may not have a kind of the sounding board to figure through these things. Or sometimes I see friends who I care about, expressing their point of view, which is fine. We all have a point of view. There's only one truth and many points of view. And I've had, again, I'm just going to segue just a second. A lot of woo woo people say everyone has their truths. I do not subscribe to that. I subscribe to that. We have opinions based on our intuition, or what we believe is our intuition, our knowing, our psychic ability, our life's experience up until this time, our personal definitions we're creating, revisiting, education, experience in life, those who influence us, things that we dream about, um, many different aspects of us, especially whether we're connected to what we think is our higher power or not, but especially if we're not. There's just so many components of perception. And what I know, perception, when it is truly in alignment with energy, um, that helps create truth. So I'm just trying to make sure we have a little background music. I don't know. Let's try that. Maybe that'll play something. I don't know. Just like having a little bit of music, and I feel like this was a. It says this is playing the full soundtrack, but this is playing the full soundtrack, but I don't know. Is that paying? All right. Okay, maybe that will, honey. I don't know. All right, I should. I'm gonna have to shut that off. Oh, that's too loud. What happened was a commercial came on. So there's some there. Okay. Anyway, so the topic of this wisdom tea and oracle insight is being you and your manifestations during times of deception. Okay. Meanwhile, I wanted to. Oh gosh, the cats are gonna drive me crazy. 1 second. All right, you guys, I love you, but you have to decide in or out. There's no of this fucking back and forth. Come on, coming in or not? Come on. Sorry, this is like too funny because they just like, you gotta make up your mind, honey. I don't want to keep opening and shutting the door. Yeah, no, I'm doing something. Yeah. Okay, this is Ellen, and Ellen was probably going to walk across, and I'm not getting to my reading. And I'm not going to edit this. This is just very candid. Okay. So anyway, truth is truth, period. We all have opinions. Truth is truth. And vibrationally, this is how we tell the truth. That is actually our intuition. That is psychic ability. Because when you can feel the vibrations of things, you know without proof. And that's what I say to people who are, excuse me out there, if you're liberal, if you're particular, like all this gender shit that you like gonna talk about and pronouns, there is only truth, not mental illness and stupidity of trying to entrain others the way your brain works. So we all must allow each other to experience ourselves, but not control each other. So this whole time of you taking on your manifestations, you being you and your intuition, is really a masterful time for you. And that when we see these deceptions, and there are many deceptions, and focus on the reality that you want to live into, that you were put here at this time to create, and you get to choose that. And what happens is we need to hold that energy, that focus, and it's a duality thing, and a kind of this purposeful focus, and yet very light filled. Find more fun, find more freedom and care of ourselves, find more vision, see ourselves as that body, see ourselves as that the money we want, see ourselves as this life of harmonics and peace, rather than, you know what they're doing, blah blah blah. You know what they said, blah blah blah. You know what they said. Because it takes away, it's still, you're helping to participate in divisions. Now, it's not that we don't want to have conversations to completely dig our head in the sand. It's be observant, absolutely. Be in the know and be able to converse, but don't spend that much airtime talking about what they did. Remember, this is all a show. And as Shakespeare, you can go back and look at Shakespeare about how all the world is a stage, and yet us men and women play our parts. All us in a body, and even in a little cat suit, we have a soul, and we've come in to play a part. We have the right in our experiences, human flesh or cat flesh, to make choices, to feel feelings. It's okay. It's all right. You can come here. Come over here. Come over here. Come see me. But we can keep choosing a higher timeline. And I'm going to get a little distracted with the kitty. So let me go into what I started to pick. It's interesting. So what I wanted to do is I picked 3 card decks. And in the card decks, I'm just going to shut that for a second. In the card decks, I also matched up with crystals or stones. And I asked the decks, and what I did, at the time, prepared myself a little bit. I don't really have to spend always a long time doing this, but I was wanted to share that on TikTok and here to expand it, that the decks came forward, and the cards of the decks that wanted to speak to you came forward to support you to your highest destiny, to help you look at that which you might want to consider, observe, shift, understand that you are in, acknowledge that support of you as you move ahead. And what happened, a card from one of my decks, which is from the Good Tarot, and this is the Five of Earth, and you'll see it as the title image. This is a lot of heart chakra, but you'll notice sort of muted colors that are also some root colors. You got this brown, this muted like maroon-ish rusty color for, again, the chakras. And there's yellow. You could also interpret it as orange. And so you have this groundedness flowing up to the heart chakra, which is Age of Aquarius, from the heart. The heart is the most powerful magnetic and electric organ of the body. It is the power center of manifestation. In your prayer time, your mantra time, your focus time, your heart, your desire is what brings the thing you wish into being. And quantum physicist science knows this. And it's no wonder in a human form and in most animal form, a heart is in the center or in a higher part of the upper torso and protected by, the rib cage and other systems of the body, right? And for us women, we have breasts, and for men, their upper torsos are also usually, very well, their strength. Women, although women have upper body strength, not and are good that way, but men overall in their physicality and in our physicality, it's just the rib cage is there, the organ of the heart is protected. But men overall in their physicality and in our physicality, it's just the rib cage is there, the organ of the heart is protected with all of that, and in the higher part of our bodies. So the Five of Earth is about maybe your treasures that you didn't really see at first, or even that you were kind of acquiescing. Maybe you were wobbly. It could be that you were wobbly about that which you were trusting in reality, and yet the Five of Earth is very powerful about trusting in the next steps of manifestation. And so it could be just, if you are noticing that you were wobbly about manifestation or the possibilities of expansion or really great, wonderful things happening, just remember that the Five of Earth is telling you, no, you have perhaps unobserved treasures in yourself or abundances that you weren't noticing, but yes, they are here for you. And five for me is, earth, air, fire, water, spirit. It is about staying and recognizing the practice of gratitude. So staying in gratitude and recognizing to have that practice every day, even if it's just saying, thank you that I get up. Thank you that my car starts. Thank you for the food on my table. Very simple things that you can accept. I also want to say that this has always been really true for me, the journey within, deep in the self, and the journey without. Five also is, we kind of like, think about college when we carry a class load. Now, I don't think they let you go over 6 or 7 when you start taking classes. I think they try to limit it to 5. If you kind of really look at that dynamics of how many subjects you might take within a semester, I think they do try to limit to 5. The human body learns easier with not an overload of 5 separate things to be aware of. So I just want to, so this was the theme kind of opening this particular subject matter. And the crystals that I used to surround it were this kind of polished, but still raw azeztolite, which is like, it's still quartz crystal. So it's an amplifier. It's the mother amplifier to speaking to divine and channeling and other worlds and hearing information. And I think that we have some friends, or I have a friend who believes that this is a very old Lemurian crystal. And then I had some noble shungite. It's black shungite, which is about, repelling, um, protection against evil, also against the EMFs, the negative radiations. And what else is it for? Put in water, and not just right away. I think you have to cleanse. It has to be in water for 5 days before it's effective. But there is a way to use noble shungite, which they say in Eastern Europe helps cure cancer. Okay. So going into my card reading, I aligned the Bumblebee Jasper with this particular deck, which is the uh, Through the Eyes of the Soul. And then I had done a Dambarite for Art Through the Starstream Oracle. And then I had chosen this chrysanthemum flower stone for the Good Tarot. And when I turn over the cards and give you the card information and give you the crystal information, you'll kind of see how it goes together. Now, again, when I was divining what to bring forward, it really was for absolutely your highest destiny, how to be with you and your manifestations, whatever you might have to clear up, if that's coming up for you, whatever fears or a roadblock, and yet to acknowledge you and your powers, your supernatural, to acknowledge you at this time on the planet that you got this, right? Because you always hear me say, you're powered by the stars, we're a spark of creation. We're going to activate the power within, and this is the time. This is the age of Aquarius. We've had planets align. If you listen to that song, Age of Aquarius from the 70s, and the fifth dimension, the group that sings it, the fifth dimension, we're rising to fifth dimension. And perhaps some of us, as we allow ourselves to expand, to be in that surrender of the organic flow and just trust. I mean, it's like trust without knowing and creating. We're rising higher. And it's not selective to just the food you eat. It's more the thoughts we think and the words we say and the desire we have and what we're really allowing ourselves to expand to. And then just to segue for a second, some people say, well, I don't want to live to be 100 or 92, or I don't want to live to be 300, or look at you weird. No, the human body, taken care of correctly in alignment with frequency, with the form of what you say, what you wish, you can keep this form alive for quite a long time, and you can redesign it. Not only because of new technologies on the planet that are here that need to come out for us, but our own technology in here and in the heart, the computer, and in the organ of the perfect, powerful manifestation. So Bumblebee Jasper. Bumblebee Jasper is achieving your impossible dream, to invigorate it invigorates your energetic systems, so it really supercharges you to be in alignment in your energy, to be super powerful and radiate that you want to bring in. Overcoming fear of failure. It excites the sense of purpose and for living a life beyond measure, your aspirations, for living with your purpose and being happy in the expression of your evolution and your purpose. It enhances and raises your creativity. And there was one more thing. Yeah. It enhances your creativity. There was another word that it does, but we'll leave it at that. It's an enhancement stone. It also enhances, I believe, joy, because it's a bumblebee. Think of a bumblebee going along. I mean, the bumblebee, right? The bee was not supposed to fly. It's so big, but aerodynamically, but it does. It doesn't know it can't. It just is. The bumblebee, like this particular opening card, represents has a lot of yellow in it. Represents the solar plexus chakra, so part of the lower chakras. But a bumblebee flower, it's very joyful. Okay, it's very purposeful, very joyful. So it all kind of goes, and you'll see how it goes to the card. All right. Maybe I should read the card that I pulled with this. So this card, if that person wanted the Bumblebee Jasper, This is Archangel, this is an image of Archangel Michael looking at the world, looking at the earth, the ground, at this holy place in Glastonbury. His sword is pointed toward earth, toward pinning down the energies. Now, he's not pinning down this white mother dragon who's on an egg, but she's about to hatch new ideas, a new energy of the world. And he's not slaying, he's not using his sword to smite, he's using his sword to ground. And he's looking at an overview of the new world and allowing that we have to have new insights, new realizations, new ways to look at creating new opportunities to embrace them. There's also a lot of blue, a lot of this blue ethereal higher chakra to the expression, the creativity of the throat, the speaking into being. What else can I tell you? It's a number card 47, and this says find the middle ground and compromise. So it's like angelically, all our angels, all our invisible helpers, all our higher minded, higher evolved beings, they don't merely just want to smite and kill the enemy and aha. They see the overview of when they can move ahead and when they can't in assistance. They see the overview and care for us because we are a part of all that is and them as all that is. The God force, the source of all beings, all things everywhere, the, the force of life. And so it's like they see everything from that quantum place as the God mind does, and they watch and they help best they can with us, waiting and nurturing. They don't know. I haven't thought about this. Do they get frustrated? You think they long for us to catch up to them? And some of us that know this, that we are connected to those ancestors of Middle Earth and galactic beings and angelic beings and the Yeshua being and all the iconic masters, we have this sense of connection. And so we're playing our role the best we can. We are learning, relearning. We're doing our best to observe and not judge. We recognize when things bring up our shadow and admit that and take full accountability. It's not about them and pointing fingers anymore. It's about really working and being in center with our soul. So 47 is 11, which is 2. And 2 is about that duality of harmonics, of balance, like male and female, up and down, right and left, north and south, east and west, opposite poles, yin yang. It also can mean the joining of that figure 8, the infinity symbol, the never ending connections of life and science. Science is life. Life and science is the God force, powers that we have. So Michael sheds light on new ways of being in harmony with all new systems that will be and are on the new earth to create the new birth of things. And the white dragon of purity and the blue of expression. And how that went with the purpose, right, of the jasper, of all the things that the bumblebee jasper stands for. And then I wouldn't know this. So Danbury was the next stone, and it is also it's kind of a little bit like it's a quartz that's very much like, right, the azeztulite, dazzling, beautiful, sparkly, shiny. Um, so this is connected to divine reflection. It channels angelic realms, awareness to spiritual truths. This heightens, this amplifies, much like azeztulite, much like quartz crystals overall when they're placed with other crystals, enhance their properties, they uplift. So out of the next card is enter the silence and listen. So there's a lot of lower chakra here, and yet it looks almost like amethyst too. It's symbolic, I believe, of an entity or women or a person who sequesters themselves inside the roots of a tree, of a forest, of a redwood. And they're thinking about all that's going on, or they're having a sense of knowing all duality, all things that are going on, and yet not to stay with anything that looks chaotic, a lower energy. What they're doing is they're centering themselves to trust their intuition, to not, as I often talk about, like in this case, which comes up with the theme, not to look at what is and react and respond to what is, but to look at the bigger picture, much like the Archangel Michael, much like this winged entity, to look from a broader perspective, but go within. And going within to center yourself, to really be in touch with your soul quality. Enter the silence and listen. It's a number 3, which things happening in 3, mind, body, spirit. You can also look at it as a pyramid, or a triangle. And then if you look at it as a triangle, it could be the part of a Merkaba that points up, or the part of Merkaba that points down, which is again duality of male and female. The male part of your Merkaba that points up to heaven spins left to right, and the female spins Merkaba spins, part of that bottom Merkaba spins right to left. So enter the silence and listen, much like looking and observing and knowing that things have to be seen from a broader perspective for new systems and new birth, a new world to happen. You can't do things the old way. And then going within to really honor that you have to listen to that, because that's listening to your soul, listening to your guidance. And there's one more thing about that I want to, because it was very powerful. If I can find it really quick. So it was really helpful to me as well. And it was not too far. I think I mostly got it, but I don't want to miss an opportunity to give you any more information that would be helpful. So it's 39, so that would be 70. It's a little further back here. Okay. So you can notice the obvious, which I just talked about, things in reality, but you have to it says still your mind and connect with the spirit of a place. So you're connecting with your soul. And let's just say wherever you are in the world, when we be still, the energy, when I talked about energy, you're going to feel the energy. That's the truth. You can't always prove it, but feel and sometimes, even in ourselves, when we tend to be psychic or intuitive, we're in the human body, but sometimes I'll feel like, well, maybe I'm goofy, maybe I don't always use the right words. And I'm noticing more and more myself to live into that, which is this higher part of me, Commander Azira Atahir, because I know she is like my avatar. I'm that, but here I am on earth still living into and remembering where I'm from. And that's part of that. I also have, and you've heard me speak, I have a connection to the elementals, the fairies. So the galactics and the fairies. I love the angels. Always talk to Archangel Michael, Raphael, Gabriel. I talk to Yeshua a little bit now too, and I recognize that I'm from that lineage and he's my cousin. And while I don't have a paper to prove it, I feel that deep within me, and I'm really excited about that. That makes me feel humbled and, connected to source even more. And if you can find that within yourself, to honor yourself, to honor who you are. So feel the energies around you, because the energies around you, as you connect to them, give you clues, intuitive and psychic clues as to what to do next. And for me too. Again, how these particular cards and, connecting to the higher realms to excite your sense of purpose, to heighten your spiritual awareness. So these crystals really matched up quite well. And then the chrysanthemum, which is called the flower stone, they say it's millions of years old. It might be older. It lifts depression, increases friendliness and happiness. It brings joy. It brings it dispels ignorance, bigotry, and self-rightness. And let's see, I don't remember what this last one was. Okay, this is really cool. This last card is the call. It is absolutely, so look at angelic being, and it's a number 20, also to the duality of up, down, in, out, as above, so below, right, left, north, south, and male, female. The call being ultimately trusting that organic flow. You allow your intuition to flourish. You allow your psychic ability. You allow your powers to be. You trust that the divine has your back. You're from the divine. Everything is happening for you in such a powerful way because you are not alone. You are absolutely guided, powered by the stars, spark of creation, the angelic soulful you. So these cards, like they just matched up so well, right? Dispels ignorance, bigotry, self-rightness, brings joy, brings increased friendliness, lifts depression. You're lifted, you're ethereal. So they really kind of all went together in a way that I could not have. And this one is, again, got a lot of heart color, a lot of purity, the white, sort of this dream-like state that you are in the clouds, ascended already, angelic yourself, heralding in this too, this awareness. Let me read that to you because I think you'll really like that. I pretty much have said what it is, but purpose and true prosperity. I have everything I need right now to move forward with purpose, right? The universe taking care of you. I'm being called into a deeper and more authentic relationship with myself and higher power and with others, which is what all these cards are saying, right? The observing of all, bringing into the new earth, doing things different in a more harmonic way, tying it all together, being aware of this broader ideas of relationship, what needs to happen, the rebirth of the new world. Again, honoring that time of silence for yourself. Take those moments for yourself to go within, to check within, to feel the energy, to allow you to hear the whisper of the strong, subtle voice of what will help you to do next. You got this. And then the call that everything is here for you, your purpose, your true prosperity, that the chrysanthemum brings joy, like a joy, and don't see that, I can't read my other word, but that the chrysanthemum flower is helping you with your joy, with your friendliness, increasing and letting ignorance go, letting bigotry go, letting self-rightness go, because I'm being called into a deeper and more authentic relationship with myself and my higher power and with others. I'm here for a reason. I step forward into my true self, expressing that through my actions, and trust my life as a purpose, that I am enough. So I think all these really went together really well. And then the last card that tied all this theme, which again, I just opened the page to this wonderful new deck that I have, right? Wild Women Rising. And it was the number 19 card, which 9 and 1 is 10, new beginnings, but also 1 meaning you, trusting the divine. And you is number 1. Going with that, you are number 1, straight as an arrow, know thyself. And it was called Listen, the World Open. Listen, basically, the world is opening. Listen, the world open. To listen deeply is one of the greatest gifts we can give ourselves and each other. To listen isn't passive, it's an act of generosity and creativity that opens up a blossoming space inside the soul. Stop all distractions, right? All the deceptions. Let it go by. Talk the new talk. Slow way down. Listen to what is around and inside you. Listen to what's inside you. Seeing others and things in a new way. When we listen, each other open, the way the sun listens and blossoms into a lily, wild woman rises. But see how bright this card is, the call of your purpose, to just surrender into the organic flow. so that your being, you, and your manifestations, you can do this regardless of what's going on. So I think that was helpful to bring what I did on TikTok into a more fuller realization. I mean, I did what I could in 3 minutes because that's what is allowed. And I looked at Cap Shoot? But that was 3 minutes too. I don't know how to make a longer video to send to TikTok. So, and I think TikTok was meant to kind of keep some, unless you don't get so many likes that you finally you can go live on TikTok, many followers. But I wish that this was helpful to you. Certainly, if you'd like a card reading, if you like energy work, and I'm collecting charms to do charm reading. If you need entity dispelled, any assistance, I work by donation. So, feel free to find me. Currently, the email is listed in the description, SyrianStarOracle@gmail.com. Also, there are different ways to give love donation if you should find any value, or send this off to friends. There's no pressure here. But I do work by donation, and that helps me, just forwards me in the world. Just like I want this to show up as my job, to read cards, to send out the energy of transmissions from the quantum field, to just cast charms as well, because I think that can be kind of fun and insightful to people. And the cards don't lie. All together, these themes came together under that 5 of Earth, and ending with that 19, to listen, the world open. And all these cards, I find that my cards, when they speak, they sort of all connect to each other, and they are here to absolutely support you, to say, oh, have you been doing this? Well, this card under that crystal may really resonate with you, that you feel called to that card. You feel and see how, yes, look at the bigger picture, invite that into my life. Or yes, I'm going to practice going inside more, because I know I feel really centered and calm when I spend a little time honoring myself. Or, yeah, your purpose, your call, your presence is needed in the world, and to let that be, and to start to let that come forward. Because sometimes what we do is we think a little bit of what we have to offer, that little bit of skill, that little bit of an interest in doing a skill, isn't really worthwhile, or maybe not needed. But whatever you have right now, just begin to do it, because as you do it, there are going to be others that gravitate to you and gravitate to your energy, and you're going to be a beacon of light for them. So thank you for you and jumping on tonight. I wish this was really helpful to you. It's one of my shorter readings, and I'm really glad, because I know sometimes it's hard to listen for a whole hour, but I've got you under 40 minutes, and I really appreciate you, because I get to move on with my life too, and do something easy, fun, and chill. I think I want to go for a walk, even though it's dark, just to get some fresh air. So you are powered by the stars. Activate that power within. You are supernatural. We are the spark of creation. I'll see you next time on Syrian Star Oracle, the Age of Aquarius, and catch me on TikTok, and I'm at Paths of Wonder. Bye-bye.